Hey everybody, welcome back to Boundary Break. Today we're going to be having a look at I've forgotten what my favorite game of all time is called. The game Psyche, specifically at the scene taking place in the bathroom. As you can see, I've imported all the models into Blender and the animation and everything conveniently, so we're going to be having a look at how they did it. You might be able to tell based on having seen the cutscene that it's actually two identical bathrooms stuck together. This is how they had to do mirrors back in the day. They didn't have what's it called? Reflections. Outside we have what looks to be a backup in case the model didn't work correctly during animating, so they could change it instead of having to recreate it all. We also have the reflection out here because initially the initial cut camera you can see him, and I guess it was added in after the fact. Let's take a look at the bathroom props. Here on the floor there's a drain. Bathrooms have drains on the floor sometimes. We have the cabinet, the sink, toilet paper, and toilet. And we also have shower and the light up here. As you can see, I'm doing this in Eevee to look more accurate to how the game looked on console. If I had everything enabled still, and that's the fog. If I had everything enabled still, I came in and put it on cycles, it would look objectively better. Well, not that part. It would look better, but it wouldn't look like how it looked on the console, because this was way back before 3D was the way that it is in this. As you can see, all of the textures were done with they're like pixel resolution, so like 128 by 128, but also to add more detail to the models they did a thing called vertex painting. As you can see, if I did this, it's like, wow, I added some shadows to this. So that's basically how you create a very simple sort of ambient occlusion, or just things being further away from your light source. You just add some darkness. Wow. This was also done with the character. As you can see, there's like ambient occlusion around darkness. The way that their body sort of snaps to the vertex like this was to do with the game's engine, but also I have an add-on for Blender that does Vertex Snapping to this grid, so it sort of moves the vertices around, vertices around, to give it that old sort of look. Originally, as you can see here, the models were going to be beveled, but I think that the reason the developers of Psyche didn't go through with that is because when the character's in light, and then the character moves around, you occasionally have a thing like this, where because of the way that the bevel works, that's all against the light or something. So it was originally going to look a little smoother, but for clarity's sake, detail, just let it love those hard polygonal edges. There's some tries. The tries were probably done by hitting Control T on a square face. I don't need to include that. Let's have a look at the actual animation, because, you know, why are you standing here? Let's take a look at the actual animating, because as you can see, this does not look like how my animation style looks, because this is a cutscene from a video game. So this is actually pretty different to how I animate, so that's how you know that I didn't animate it. Wink. Blender has a thing called a non-linear animating workspace, NLA, where you can see a whole bunch of these layers. As you can see, there's the idle animation. That's sort of where the breathing sort of looks. As here you have the walk, and that's the walk cycle, and then this rig action moves it forward to sort of match the movement. Interestingly enough, when the reflection becomes evil, it becomes frame by frame animated to make it look more like something inhuman has taken over it. Here the character sort of crawls out to grab the camera. This mirror breaking effect is just a plane that is moved on when the camera hits it. This character was actually animated differently. It was kind of weird. It was originally animated where there would be spaces between every 3 frames to sort of make it look more jerky, like this. The reason I think that the animators for the game didn't go with that is because it was weird, I guess. I mean, I can't say what people, however, when this game was made, were thinking. The way I did the textures for the character is, I mean, the way that the way that the textures could have been done for the game was, I found this plugin for Blender that is like lets you do layers for painting on the model. So if you go into paint mode, you can like paint on it, and then if you didn't want to affect that layer, you could add a new layer, and then when you go in, you can like when you go in, you can paint, and then you can say, oh, I don't want it to mix, I want it to be an overlay. And like, oh wow, look at that. That actually would have been a pretty cool thing to have, like a bit of color differentiation in the, it's fine, it's fine. I didn't make this game. Now let's come over to FL Studio, because there's I recreated the song, I guess. Some sort of flimsy excuse. I pretty much just want to show this pattern right here, because it actually sounds really nice. I'm actually going to play the full song in the animation. I mean, in this video. I'm going to play the full song in this video so you guys can listen to it. And there you go. It's sort of like, I assume, if I was the developers, this is what I would assume, is that it was inspired by Silent Hill sort of sounding music, where it's sort of dark and ominous. Some piano notes that was probably going to go into the main character's theme as a reflection sort of thing, before it was interrupted by the reflection. And then the end is sort of the more like industrial drums that the Silent Hill songs have sometimes. I think. I've never played Silent Hill, nor do I really know anything about it. But speaking of Silent Hill, this is probably a crazy coincidence, but all of the sound effects used for the game were from the Silent Hill arcade game. That's a neat bit of trivia for you about this game that is real. Nightly Psyche. Here we can see it's just got the this is the, if you were perhaps to take a cutscene from a video game and recreate the sound designs and transitions and stuff, it would probably look similar to this, where you have the door closing, you've got footsteps, you've got some eerie noise. I mean, let me play the, oh, this is gonna be cool. I'm gonna play without the music, because I played the music without the sound. Here we have the animation without the music, and just the sound. As you can tell, music and ambience, whatever you want to call it, does a lot for a scene. A lot of my animations recently do not have music, so the point is, this is a dark, spooky animation, so it needs dark, spooky sound. And I think that the developers of this game did a great job in recreating that. The textures for this game are done. I have them here. Oh man, they're all like crisp looking. I mean, not crisp, anti-crisp. I'll just have to open them in Paint. They weren't done in Paint, I assume. Here we go. Here's the texture. As you can see, they would have done it with a 2-ply brush, and then all the shading was done with the a jittery effect and then blurred over top. This is the same for the bathroom floor. Like that. You've got the non-tile, which is just like that. You've got the dirty mirror. That's a transparent background. This is the shadow that's underneath the character as they walk around. It's shadowy. Can't really tell. In the darkness, here we have the broken glass. Same effect as the tiles. I think that's it. Oh wait, I never actually looked at what's behind the shower curtain. Oh my god. What does that mean? What did the developers of this game mean by this? Whoa. Well, yeah, I guess take that home with you, and bye-bye.